All right, my friends, on this lesson now we are going to learn this. We're going to learn some text functions in here that are also very useful. We're going to learn about left, right, middle or mid, and trim. Okay, let us learn about this. So here is our scenario, my friends. I have some names in here. I have the first name initial and I have a last name. And our goal is going to be just to extract the first name initial, okay, and put it and insert it right here in this column. If I have to do this manually, it'll take a long time, especially if this is a very long report. So for this, my friends, we can use some text functions. And I'm going to use that left function for this so that I can extract, text from the left. The left function is very simple. The left function only has 2 arguments. So let us go ahead and execute that left function. I'm going to do the following. Right here on this cell in here, I'm going to do equals, and then I'm going to do left. Okay. My first argument is the text that I want to start extracting from the left, or where is the text that I want to start extracting from the left. I'm going to go ahead and point and click to this. Excellent. Comma. Oops. Now my second argument is starting from the left. How many characters do I want to extract? So I want to extract only 1. I can do as many characters as I like, but this time I only want 1. I'm going to go ahead and close my parentheses, and very nice. This is all I need for the left function. I'm using names and last names for this, and states names, but you guys can use, for example, these are very useful to separate area codes or zip codes or social security numbers or phone numbers, whatever you like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press enter. Very nice. And take my function for a test drive. Boom, there you go. So that's my first name initial. I'm going to populate that rest of my column like so. Chichin. There you go. Very nice. Remember, every time you want to populate your column like this, by double clicking on the angry rabbit, you have to say chichin. If not, it's not going to work. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so for the next right here, now it looks like we pull out this report. We pulled this report and notice that we have some redundancy error right here. It put the estate name and also the estate postal abbreviation, and all we need is the estate initials. So what I want to do for this case, I actually want to extract the 2 characters from the right. Okay, so the right function works just like the left function. It has 2 arguments, but instead it works from right to left instead of left to right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right function right here. I'm gonna do equals right. The text, my first argument, the text that I want to extract from the right is right here. Okay, comma, how many characters do I want to extract from the right, or starting from the right? I want to do 2. Close my parentheses. Excellent. This is all I need. I'm going to take my right function for a test drive. Press enter. There you go. Very nice. It works. Yay! Yay! Very nice. Now next, this time I want to extract, actually, our goal is to extract the country region from this transaction ID. And it looks like here in the middle, if you notice, my friends, it looks like I have this transaction from the United States, and I have transactions from the United Kingdom, and I have transactions from Australia. And I just want to pull the country region for statistical purposes. So for this, I'm going to use the middle function. The middle function is very similar to the left function, except that now I have 3 arguments instead of 2. So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to do equals, and then I'm going to use mid for middle. Okay, I call it middle, but it's actually called mid, I think. Okay, so the text that I want to extract, the text from the middle, is right here. Okay, and then now my second argument, comma, is on which character from the middle do I want to extract my middle characters from. So it looks like it's going to be starting on the third character. So I want to put 3 right there for my second argument, comma. Now, my third and last argument. Very good. Starting on the third character of that text, how many characters do I want to extract? So I want to extract only 2 characters. So I'm going to put 2 right there. Very nice. I'm going to close my parentheses. Okay. Very nice, very geeky function. I'm gonna go ahead and take this for the test drive and I'm gonna press enter. Very nice. US, and I'm gonna populate the rest of this column. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and press and will populate, I should say, the rest of this column. Very nice. Now I have all the country region right here extracted. Last but not least, right here on this exercise, this is just an honorable mention. I want to show you about this function right here, my friends. It's called trim. The trim function, what it does, as you can tell the difference between the characters, the text on this column right here and this column right here, is because I have spaces right here and I don't have spaces here. Sometimes whenever we extract reports into Excel from some old proprietary software, or we even have some people that like to indent, or the information gets indented by somehow, some way, and we need to get rid of those spaces, extra spaces at the beginning or at the end of a cell. We use the trim function. The trim function only requires one argument, and if you notice right here with this trim function, is only requiring right here from which text or which cell location do you want to trim the spaces. The trim function will trim the spaces only at the beginning and at the end of the data, not in the middle. Okay, so very nice. This is how the trim function works. Very nice, my friends. Okay, my friends, well, let us continue now with our lesson. And now for our last lesson, our last portion of this lesson, we have some very, very, very geeky functions right here. We're going to learn about search, len, and proper. So here is our scenario, my friends. In another lesson, we learned that how to put together by using join. We learned how to put together names and last names. Now we're going to learn how to do the opposite. Okay, so this is a very, very geeky way. It's going to be just a little bit hard, but this is going to be like the peak of our lesson on functions in Excel. We can split these names and last names by using text to columns, also by using find and replace. However, by using text to columns and find and replace, we will have to do those operations over and over. I like to use the formulas because although they are a little bit harder, you can copy and paste the formula on different reports, and this way you don't have to duplicate your efforts, so you don't have to duplicate your work. You're gonna have to work a little bit harder when you do the formulas and to understand them. But once you do that, the rest of the work is going to have to be easy. This is for people who have to do this report several times, or they have a workbook with several worksheets where they have to do the same thing, over and over. They can just copy and paste the formula, and instead of doing find and replace or text to columns every time. So let us go ahead and do this, my friends. So remember, the goal is to split the name and the last name in here. And right here, to insert the name in here, one can say, oh yeah, we can use the left function. Yeah, use left, and that's it. No, you cannot, because look, with the left function, you have to also set a specific name of characters that you want to extract from the left. And each of the names, they have a different name of characters. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this the best I can, and I'm gonna try to explain this procedure by parts and by one function at a time. Okay, well, first of all, to split the name or to extract the name, I have to ask myself, what do all these people's names and last names have in common? What character do they have in common? Well, they have a space in between. Yes, they have a space in between. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the search function. I'm going to do this equals search. Very good. Oops, search. And the search function has two arguments. The first is what am I searching for? And I'm going to put inside of double quotations right here, I am searching from an empty space, comma. Now, my second argument is within the text. The search function has three arguments, but only two are required. So I want to search for an empty space within this text in here. I'm going to point and click here. Close my parentheses. Very nice. Now, my friends, there is the search function and there's the find function, and they basically do the same thing, except that the find function is case sensitive and search function is not. Okay, so depending on your needs, you can use search or find, and I'm gonna go ahead and use search. So there you go, two arguments, search for the space within this text in here, and I'm gonna press enter, and I have as a result the number 6. What is this number 6? The number 6 means that is the space on this text in here is the 6th character. Very nice. So this is how many characters are right here for the first name. Well, it's actually 5, and we're adding 6 with the empty space. Okay, so now knowing this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to trick Excel into doing this. This is very clever. I'm going to do the left function now. I'm going to nest the left and the search function, and I'm going to do this now. Left, and remember now my syntax right here that I've been reading all this time, I don't know if you guys notice it, is telling me my first argument is a text where I want to extract my my text from the left. So it's going to be this right here. Okay, and then comma. My second argument, I'm gonna let search, this other function, be my second argument, which as a result is going to give me the number 6. I'm going to go ahead and close my last parenthesis here, because remember, all my parentheses, once I have more than one set of parentheses, all my parentheses need to be properly nested and they need to be properly closed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press enter. There you go, successfully I got the name Aaron right there extracted. Now if I want to be politically correct, if you guys really think of this, it's giving me that first name Aaron and an invisible space right here. If the invisible space bothers you, if you're a perfectionist or OCD like me, you will do right here -1, and that will take care of that problem. Enter. Very nice, it works. I'm going to populate the rest of the column right here. Cha-ching. There you go, it works great. Now let us go ahead and do the last name. For the last name, one can say, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use just right and search. It's going to work the same way. No, it doesn't work that way. So before you try it, no, don't do it. The problem with the search function is that the search function will start searching from left to right, not from right to left. And the number of characters that we have for the last name may not be the same number of characters that we have for the first name. So for that, we have to use yet another function, and it's the len function. Okay, so let us see how the len function works. The len function stands for length. Len right there, very nice. The len function only requires one character, and it's going to be from this text in here. I'm going to close my parenthesis, and that's my len function right there. It looks very dummy, but it's very powerful. We usually use the len function along with other functions, because otherwise by itself is pretty useless. Okay, enter. 11. So what does this number 11 means? 11 means that number of total characters that we have for this text in here, including the space. In the computer world, my friends, the space is also a character, and the space also counts. Keep that in mind. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to trick Excel into doing this. I'm going to do len minus search. Okay, which we already know how to use search. Find what text. I still want to use the space. Okay, comma, and I want to do it within this text in here, and I want to close my parentheses. Now I know that len is going to give me equals to 11, and search is going to be give me equals to 6. So what is 11 minus 6 is? Oh, is that remaining number of characters which are for the last name. Very nice. Now I'm going to do something else now. I'm going to do now right here. I'm going to nest now the right function in here. In my first argument, actually I'm going to do right here, right. My first argument is going to be the text, which I want to extract my text from the, on my characters from the right. It's going to be this right here, comma. My second argument for the right function is going to be this right here, len minus search. And I'm going to go ahead and close my last parenthesis to close this um, um, accordingly or correctly. Very nice. This is a little bit hard to understand the first time, my friends, but not to worry. These are some of the things in Excel that you have to try at least like 3 times before you can get it right. Okay, no worries. I also provide this follow along exercise with the answers already for you. Okay, this is for my students who are taking this course with me. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so a little bit geeky, a little bit powerful, a little bit hard, but this is in my opinion, once you get the hang of it, this is much easier because I can just copy and paste the formula in other reports, instead of me doing text to column again or do search and replace. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take this function for the test drive and hopefully it will work. Enter. Wow, there you go. Yeah, you did. I'm gonna go ahead and populate the rest of my function in here. Very, very, very nice. Next, my friends, last but not least, I have some honorable mentions that I want to do for you. These are also text functions, and yes, sometimes we extract information from all proprietary software in Excel or for some all Excel spreadsheets, and for some reason we get everything in uppercase and we want to lowercase everything. So for that, my friends, we're going to use that lower function. Lower right here, what the lower function will do is that it's going to lowercase all of our letters or all of our text from a given cell. The lower function only requires one argument. There you go. Well, I have names right here that they need to be capitalized, but it could be something else. I'm just using this as a generic, example that, to put this to work. Lower, enter, very nice. So it lowercase this. Next, the proper case, it'll do exactly what proper means, my friends. Proper will capitalize each word on a given text from a cell. Okay, close my parentheses, enter. Aaron Adams, very nice. Last but not least, yes, uppercase will do exactly what the name of the function it says. Upper will uppercase all the characters of a text on a given cell. Maybe you need to do this because you have acronyms, or you just want to do it all on uppercase for whatever reason. Very nice, my friends. Now, I know that so much of you guys probably learned this little trick from me. This is a very well-known trick, how to populate the rest of your columns by just double clicking right here, and then you say the word chichin, and then you can go right here, chichin, and you can populate right here, chichin, the rest of your columns. But let me show you one more trick. You can also do this, my friends. There is chichin, and you can also just select all these cells in here and then just double click right here at the end and say chichin. There you go, my friends. Thank you very much for attending and for being here on this long lesson with me. Thank you so much again. Thank you for your support, and I hope to see you guys again. Have a great day. God bless, and bye-bye.